Dang thing doesn't want to come off. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit, and ooh, that's a nice smell. Sorry for the difficulties a little bit. There we go. Well, that looks pretty damn good so far. And one last thing, a little cherry on top. Always has good flavor to the whiskey. There we go. Gonna move that guy out of the way. There we go. Let me raise the camera just a little bit. Oh yeah. Nothing beats a good whiskey. And I'm going to get a good cigar out of it too. So stay tuned. Kind of contemplating if I should have a cigar right now because it's pretty windy, but you know what? I'll have a really basic cigar. The cigar I'm going to be smoking is the La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor. Probably like one of my favorite cigars out there. Actually, it's like one of the very first few cigars that I ever smoked. So it gives a lot of nostalgia for me. Yeah, and you know, it's a really good go-to cigar for me. And I'm gonna get to the point of the video here in a sec. Just gonna light my cigar. I might put more fuel in here. Yeah, see the flame. It's gonna get windy, so I don't know if it'll really fuck up my cigar smoke. Yeah, it's really windy right now. But I'm gonna make the video count. Yeah, well, this will do. Oh, I'll just touch it up a little bit. Sometimes I'm making a good video, it takes a lot of patience. But I'm actually excited to do this video. I've been want to do this video for quite some time now. Yeah, this is pretty good. Nothing really beats a really good La Aroma. You know, if it's gonna be like a good beginner cigar and a good go-to, La Aroma is one of them. That or Perdomo. Anyway, not the point of the video. So if you guys don't know, I'm D-Man the Greaser, or Cowboy D-Man, whatever you want to call me on this channel. And I'm probably going to post this here on YouTube and also Rumble, so check out this video and you're not going to miss. So what is this video about? And I'm sure you're going to ask yourself about it, like down in the comments and just by the title of this video. But the video I'm going to be talking about is whiskey and pairing with good cigars. Now, I know I made a video of me making an old-fashioned. And I can kind of scroll through video by video, seeing if I did a whiskey video, but I haven't. And, you know, shame on me, I haven't talked about pairing like a good cigar with a good whiskey. And if you saw me with the whole intro of that video, I poured myself a really beautiful glass of 1910 Old Forester, a 93 proof barrel, and that's really good. It's good whiskey, especially for pairing cigars. And I smoked it with some mesquite wood, and I'll talk about smoking smoking whiskey in a little bit, or maybe I make a separate video about that too. And I put a garnish of cherry because cherry on top of a whiskey, that's a good go-to move. Just delicious. Anyway, what is this video about pairing cigars and whiskey? So for those of you who are getting into cigars, I would highly recommend getting into whiskey as well. And reason I say it is, whiskey is just a really good gentleman drink, very good classy kind of liquor. And and I know there's going to be people out there going to say, oh, the only way to drink, I don't like whiskey because when I drank whiskey and took a shot of it, it really fucked up or burnt the crap out of my mouth. And that's because you really drank it wrong. Sorry, to tell you the truth, it's a really bad way of drinking whiskey. Really, to me, whiskey, I treat it like as if it's a good fine wine, You sip it, you enjoy you savor the flavor of it. And, with that, with a good cigar, you can't go wrong with a good bourbon or scotch, or heck, maybe just a rye, Honestly, I recommend a lot of, bourbon and scotch when it comes to cigar pairing. So, yeah. And where does this go with cigars? Now, in the cigar world, in the cigar community, the big thing one of the few drinks that's very common and very popular with cigars is whiskey. Because whiskey, it just brings a lot more aromas, a lot more flavor development and oh my gosh, the glare of my glasses kills me. But yeah. But when it comes to whiskey, and cigars, getting really good flavor notes out of your cigar is a good thing. But when you drink whiskey, you're bringing more aromas, you're bringing more flavor into it. Because whiskey is kind of the same thing with cigars. You're trying to see what different flavors and different notes you're getting. Like a lot of good whiskeys, what I like to look for is something that has like a good wood note to it, taste to it. Maybe a little bit of vanilla, maybe cherry in it, like very sweet notes, very dry notes a little bit. It's just same thing with like wine, wine you kind of do the same thing. Although I'm not a big wine guy, maybe I want to get into wine, especially on the red wine side of things, because I don't like white wines. But that's kind of the same thing, same thing, wine, you're trying to taste the different notes on there, the different kind of sweet notes, dry notes. That's the same thing with whiskey. You're trying trying to find that good burn notes in there, you know, really good wood notes, like a lot of oak, you know, let's see, what's a good one? Oak, a lot of walnut, maybe a little bit of vanilla, maybe cherry. And you know, if you smoke a whiskey, I mean, you're gonna get even more. Like, so what I smoked it with was mesquite, and this has a little bit of that oaky, very vanilla, very cherry, very sweet notes in there, and that mesquite just brings more aromas to it. And then adding with the cigar, I'm getting more flavor notes out of it. And yeah, something I really encourage a lot of cigar guys to get into is whiskeys. If you guys aren't into whiskeys, and you know, and I talk to people at cigar lounges so too, and you know, not everybody drinks alcohol, drinks whiskey or beer or whatever, but a really good pairing substance you can do like is coffee. But I would say coffee doesn't give, I mean, you do get some pairing notes, but you don't get as much of a pairing than you do with whiskey when it comes to cigars. That's how I look at it. So yeah, and so for some of you guys who drink your whiskey, like if it's a shot of tequila, I say you're really wasting a good whiskey on it. Even if it's like maybe like a Jack Daniel's, Jim Beam, or whatever, I'd still say you're still wasting it a little bit. Even though I don't condone drinking Jack Daniel's or Jim Beam. If that's just your thing, I mean, I definitely like some Jack, maybe some Jim Beam. I do like a good bullet or so for, you know, for old fashions, but that's just me. You know, not a huge fan of those. Although the single barrel proof Jack Daniels, not the regular Jack Daniels, but the single barrel proof, that's a good that's a good Jack. But in a good sense, you know, you really want to treat a good whiskey not like a shot of tequila. You really want to treat it like as a good, fine experience. Good, fine, just a fine day. You know, you really, and I really wouldn't suggest getting drunk off it though too. I really wouldn't suggest it because I mean you're just wasting good whiskey on that. But you know, you really want to look for good flavor notes on there, and I mean, it's gonna bring a lot of good with your cigars, and something I really encourage. So yeah. Not sometimes you get that kick, but it really depends what whiskey you're getting. I got a pretty good milder proof. The proof of it's like 93, and that's pretty good, especially with pairing cigars. And I definitely love Old Forester. You know, that's a good whiskey that you can pair a lot of good cigars with. Oh yeah, you get a lot of sweet notes. You know, a lot of wood notes though too when it comes to these two pairings, and I really can't complain. It's just really good experience to do that. And something I encourage about this too, you know, if you're gonna smoke cigars in the mornings, you know, I definitely encourage doing coffee. And just because, you know, again, you get some pairings off of it, not like a good pairing like you do with a whiskey. And maybe I can talk about that in another video of coffee and cigars, which that's also pretty popular in the cigar community. But we have a nice evening like this, or maybe like after supper or something like that. Yeah, a whiskey is a really good thing to have for cigars. Another thing I encourage when it comes to cigars and whiskeys. Now, I know I mentioned this in some of my shorts when it comes to like cigar shop, cigar lounge etiquette. When I talk about this, dude, sorry, I've been getting over this like little bug cold that's been going around, so you may hear me cough a little bit. Although I haven't been coughing this much, and I blame the whiskey a little bit. But when it comes to cigar lounges, you know, and this is, I highly encourage you to do this. And if you're going to become like a recurring figure, and something I'm going to probably be better about doing this, and something I'm going to definitely do myself, is if you're a regular at your local cigar lounge and you know everybody, you kind of know everybody at that point, I highly suggest a lot of you guys, you know, bring in a bottle of whiskey. It doesn't matter what kind of whiskey it is, bring a bottle of whiskey and share around with the guys. And I guarantee you're going to be very well liked. And, you know, people, it's definitely a brotherhood thing of the leaf kind of thing. And if you bring a bottle of whiskey to share, oh man, you're gonna have a great time at the cigar lounge. It's, I mean, not just you're drinking or whatever, but you're gonna make a lot of good friends, good connections. You're really gonna get to know each other through the bottle and through cigars as well. And it's just good cigar lounge etiquette rule or etiquette, especially if you're going to if you're like a recurring guy at the lounge. You know, you're becoming like a regular figure. So I definitely encourage you maybe buying a bottle of whiskey. Now it doesn't matter what kind of whiskey it is. You know, it could be like a really inexpensive whiskey. If you bring an expensive whiskey, hats off to you. You're gonna be really well liked. But it doesn't really matter what kind of whiskey you're gonna bring in. As long as you bring a good bottle of whiskey, you're gonna become very popular with that, and it is a really good thing to do that because it is a good social thing to do, and I really highly encourage you guys to do that. I mean, shit. I mean, if you guys watched my video at Cigartopia, I mean, I shared some whiskey with Terrence Riley, Steve Saka, and you know, we just got along great with it too. And again, it's just a good brotherhood of the leaf kind of thing. And you know, again, you're really, when you do drink whiskey, a little bit of whiskey, like sip it like that and have a good cigar, you're really bringing more flavor into it on both sides, at both ends, and you're really going to enjoy yourself with that. Now, I'm not saying that you must bring whiskey, you must drink whiskey if you're a cigar guy. I mean, if you're a cigar guy and you don't drink, I mean, hey, hats off to you. You know, I'm not going to say, oh, you must drink, or you're a beginner cigar guy and you don't drink. If that's not your thing, that's not your thing. And I'm not going to force you guys to drink whiskey. But if you guys are kind of guys who are, I would say alcoholics, but if you guys are really looking for a good liquor or a good pairing with a good cigar, I highly encourage you get some whiskeys. You know, maybe go to your local, maybe Total Wine and More. You know, maybe a good cigar lounge. You know, anyway, you know, maybe you just gotta maybe try around at different places of different whiskeys, see what you like, and yeah, just a little rule of thumb on that. And although, you know, I say whiskeys are I think they're just classy. If you ask me, I mean, probably more classy than beer. Now, don't get me wrong, I like a good beer. I like a good PBR, maybe a good Coors Banquet with a cigar. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with that. But I'd say, you know, like, especially if you're going to like a cigar bar or even to the cigar lounge or something like that, or you just want to have something really good, you know, when you're smoking a cigar. You know, a whiskey I say is a very good, very classy thing to have. You know, I mean, cigars are, I mean, they're just classy enough. I mean, why not like bring it up a little notch? You know, I mean, yeah, whiskey is a really good, very classy thing to have, especially if you're gonna have it, I wouldn't say like on the rocks, but like have it like a little rock like this, like have a good mold, maybe have it neat or something like that. That's very classy, and you're drinking it like a gentleman. Yeah, cheers to you guys. Salute. Sometimes those notes that you smell, it gets you sometimes, but yeah, no, I really highly encourage when it comes to whiskeys and cigars, you know, definitely have a good whiskey on hand. You know, and you know, maybe you have to break the bank a little bit, but you can find good whiskeys that won't really break the bank. I mean, I bought that bottle for maybe $56 at Total Wine. Doesn't really break the bank that much. I mean, again, you just have to look around, see what you guys like, and yeah, just let me know in the comments what you guys like for whiskeys, and when you pair some good cigars with them too. So yeah. And again, I don't highly recommend taking it down like a shot. Sip it, you know, really sip it. You're tasting a lot of good flavors out of it too. So yeah. Well, I don't know if there's anything else I should talk about when it comes to whiskeys and cigars, but I really hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and just always let me know in the comments what kind of whiskeys you like. Give me some, maybe a good top 10 list, maybe top 5 list of your favorite whiskeys, maybe with some cigar suggestions that you guys like. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys like about it. And let me know in the comments what you want to see more out of. And also check out a lot of my shorts, my TikToks, my Instagram. And I really hope you guys like this video and find it very educational before I get banned on Instagram. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. And remember, stay positive, stay wild, stay strong, have a good cigar, and also have a good whiskey to it. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. And also, Happy New Year's, and I'll probably see you guys next year on the next video. Just dig it.